Welcome to the knowledge representation on the web course. This is the first lecture where we will be looking at the resource description framework language and its semantics, RDFS. My name is Ilaria Tidi, and I will be teaching most of this course. The outline of this class is actually divided in three parts, which will be three different small videos, which we call knowledge bits. We will be looking at the motivation. So why do we need RDF and RDFS? And then we will be looking at the actual syntax and semantics of this language. So to start with the motivation of why we need a resource description framework, we need to look into the human language that humans use to communicate, which is actually, it tends to be quite ambiguous and difficult for computers to process it. So if you think of a sentence like Dante wrote the Divine Comedy, it is really difficult for a computer to automatically process it and understand that Dante is the subject of the sentence, so the person that actually wrote or committed an action, the action of writing, and that the Divine Comedy is the object of the action. Maybe that the Divine Comedy is a book. So the main idea is that this information that used to be stored for many years in databases would be difficult to process and to treat. So somehow the databases are inadequate. If we think about databases, if you are familiar with that, databases consist of multiple tables where information is well structured for sure, but it's also very difficult to integrate. So a machine needs to understand what a country, what a table is about. Maybe that there is a country that has a name, has a capital, specific neighboring countries. And it has to understand what cities are, that they are part of countries, and how they are connected to countries. So somehow all this information needs to be processed. And if you think of updating a table, maybe imagine a country that changes its name, or maybe or the capital of the country might change. You would have a maintainer of a database would have to update an entire table and possibly multiple tables at the same time. So this update can be long and tedious. So the idea was to turn these databases as just structured information, structured table into structured information. So something that has meaning also for machines. And as if especially consider that the problem with relational models, with databases, would not only storage would be difficult, but also retrieval of information. Because if you have multiple tables that represents maybe cities and countries and capitals, and you want to retrieve specific information about people, you need to perform a join operation, which means extracting information from each one of the table and joining them together. This process is quite long and tedious and expensive for machine. So as a solution for that, the knowledge representation community in the beginning of the 2000s came up with the semantic web stack. The semantic web stack is basically a set of layers, a set of technologies that would be organized to create structured information instead of just structured tables. You need to think of this stack as a set of technologies that can help you building a knowledge representation application on the web. Some layers are known and common to databases words or other words, and you need to think that every layer top layer exploits the capabilities of the layer below. Many things have changed over the years. We are now into almost 30 years of knowledge representation on the web world. So the XML syntax has expanded, and the Sparkle technology for querying has evolved. Some concepts like proof and trust are still difficult to tackle, so we prefer to leave these to the knowledge representation formalisms. And in this particular course, we will be focusing on this part of the semantic web stack. So how do we do that? How do we interchange data? How an application can exchange data with another one using RDF? How to create semantics on top of this information using taxonomies. And ontological representation, how to create rules, how to validate the information, and also how to query the information. In this class, we will look at RDF and RDFS. You will be hearing about the web ontology language, OWL, and the Sparkle query language later on in the course. Another reason to look into this stack, to learn about the knowledge representation on the web course is also because lots of technologies now are moving into the machine learning world. So if you're familiar with machine learning and with embeddings, a lot of the layers in the semantic web stack are being integrated with embedding methods. This means that there's a lot of research in our field that is focusing on machine learning, on using embeddings to solve problems of the in knowledge representation. But these methods are not transparent, they're not explainable, and they're very good with certain things, but also very bad with certain others. So the idea of this course is for you to learn these technologies and to be able to combine machine learning methods with more symbolic methods like the knowledge representation ones. If you are more interested in learning more, the main reference for RDF is the RDF primer. This is the document that the W3C, so the web consortium, maintains, and it aims at providing the basic knowledge on how to use RDF. So this is say that like the main reference and the documentation that you should always follow. I would recommend you to look at it at least once to try to understand what is the content of the document. The link is in the slides.